Okay. I just did the Aries reading, and this image reminds me of the Aries reading. If you're dealing with an Aries, there might have been some new information coming to light regarding, third parties. Okay, so I'm definitely seeing that. Um, I feel like there might be a fire sign, Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo. We have here the Ten of Swords, which is a situation where somebody might have reneged on their responsibilities. Okay, and in a more severe way, somebody stepping out on a relationship, because we have here the Seven of Swords. And then we also have the Two of Coins, juggling. We also have Six of Coins. This is a situation where there might have been some financial misdealings associated with the fire sign, Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo. So that's what I'm getting first of all. So I just wanted to clear that up. Okay, so let me just talk about the energy for this month for you guys. I feel like there is a coming together between you and another person. And I definitely see that sense of, having a lot of discussions. There's a lot of activity, a flurry of things happening around you. And I feel like that might be why you are excitedly having these conversations with another person. For some of you, this could be brewing all around you in your work environment. We have here the Seven of Pentacles, and this is the work card, okay? And I feel like there is somebody in your work environment that you have been heavily communicating with, because there are so many activities and things and events happening, and you're trying to make sense of it. I see you almost like as a bobblehead. Every time we move a bobblehead from one place to the next, their head bobs back and forth until it runs out of momentum, right? I feel like you're plopped down here, you're plopped here, and you're plopped here. It's like you're wearing many hats in your work environment. You're putting out fires in your work environment. You're doing a lot of things, taking a lot of responsibilities, and wearing many hats, where you have to shift gears from doing this today and doing another task the next day, or even within the same day. So I feel like there's a flurry of activities, a flurry of events. You're interacting heavily with a lot of other people. And what I'm seeing as well, we have here the Ace of Swords and the Seven of Coins. Okay, so this is kind of like scoping out the territory. I'm also feeling as well, really catching somebody's eyes, okay? Like catching somebody's attention, or somebody's really capturing your attention. And for many of you, I feel like this is some type of a workplace flirtation, workplace romance, workplace attraction that's coming in strongly in the picture. I'm also feeling you kind of weighing out your options, okay? Doing this, weighing out the pros and cons. Okay, so I see this as sort of like somebody snaps their finger, and then the other person comes running. So I feel like you're definitely really heavily in charge in your work environment, where people do what you ask. They're answering your beck and call. And I feel like if it's a person that you're dealing with, it's like clockwork. Whenever, for example, whenever you text them, they text right back. Whenever you call them, they call right back. Whenever you ask them something, they always respond. So it's like clockwork, and it's somebody who's very reliable, somebody who's very interested, and somebody who's very consistent. So you're dealing with someone who's like very much about clockwork, which is really nice. And especially for you guys, earth signs love that consistency, and they love to be in an environment where they don't have to play the guessing game. I mean, every one of us likes a little bit of unpredictability, and in a sense, just a little bit of drama to keep things interesting. But I feel like you're dealing with someone who's like very much on the same page as you. They want to communicate as much as you do, and they're really enamored and smitten by you, where if you send them a text, they send a text right back. And so you don't have to play that guessing game. So I feel like you're dealing with a person who's very emotionally, really mature, okay? We have here the King of Cups. For some of you, this could be a water sign, but I'm seeing a lot of signs here. So I feel like they're very emotionally mature. And when a person is very emotionally mature, they don't have to play games. They tell you how they feel. They don't push you. They're not one to force you to make a decision. They don't give out ultimatums. They just simply let you know how they feel. They put their feelings on the line because they realize, the sense of mortality, like life's too short. Why play games? Why beat around the bush? They're letting you know how they feel. And I feel like this is somebody that you've seen nothing but consistency from their end. And I feel like that quality makes them really attractive in your eyes, okay? This is somebody as well, I'm sensing that they might be a little bit at a distance from you. So you don't get to see them on a regular basis. So for those of you who might be working, they might be a contractor. They come into your work environment a few days out of the week and then they're gone. Or it's somebody you're communicating with from a distance who might be in the same industry, who might, like, I feel like, same agency, different umbrella, like under the same umbrella, different agencies. They're not always around. I also see a lot of remote communication, but either way, there's a lot of communication between you and this person, and they're very, very consistent. This is somebody as well. The Two of Wands is what is what compelled me to say that they might be at a distance from you, because this is a relationship card, but one person is not in the picture. But I said propel because I'm seeing here this swift movement. The globe is being, moved around. Okay, so I feel time difference for many of you between you and this person. I'm also seeing potentially making travel plans, planning to come see each other as well. That's coming up. And then I'm also sensing as well, for many of you, there might have been some type of I'm seeing a love really blossoming, but I'm feeling like it's under the surface. Like there's definitely a very strong undeniable attraction. It's masked by work and obligation. So, somebody might really, really, really want to communicate with you, and they might work with you. And so they, rather than just telling you, hey, I really enjoy your company, why don't we talk more? They come to you and they ask work-related questions because they don't really know how to approach you. You might do the same to them, because I feel like a lot of Taurus people do that as well. So you might be doing the same thing to them. So I feel like that, yes, there is, mutual love, mutual attraction. This is a really strong attraction card for me. Everything is under the surface. There's that heart underneath. And then there is a stoppage in communication. Okay, so it's like things are felt very strongly. It's almost like you can cut the tension in the room with a knife, and things are felt like, I'm seeing, and this is a very tactile imagery, things are felt on your skin, like you feel the chemistry, you feel that magnetic attraction, like you kind of zing each other, but things are not discussed. Okay, like the attraction is not discussed, things are not talked about. Okay, and so you might, stay up all night talking about everything else except the emotion. So that's what I'm getting here. I feel for many of you, we have here the Hierophant. This is your card. You're in an environment where you're shaping a lot of people, you're mentoring a lot of people, you're teaching a lot of people. And so you're in a position where you have to be really careful. Not that this is a warning, but I feel like because you're so visible, because you're shaping, you have huge influence, you're shaping young minds. You're very, very careful about what you do. And I feel like, the nature of the work is really keeping you on the straight and narrow path. It's keeping you from doing the things that are morally, it's keeping you away from the things that are morally wrong. And so you feel like, I'm sensing there are things that you want to do, but you're very, very, you have a really strong ethical code that you abide by, because personally, it's what you abide by. It's like your own personal moral code. But then I also feel like because of the work that you do, the nature of the work that you do, it even forces you, to be more straight and narrow. because you have a huge influence on other people. So you want to set a good example. This could be because you're a teacher. It could be because you're a parent. It could be because you're a mentor. It could be a myriad of things. But like, you're trying your best not to stray, not to do the wrong things, because there's a lot riding on it. But also personally, because that's just, your moral, ethical code. And then I'm also sensing there might have been a lot of things that you wanted to do, but you're just like, you were very, very risk averse. Okay. I'm also feeling as well. Give me just a moment. I'm trying to figure out which way this energy is coming from. Like, if it's you or if it's the other person. I feel like there's a message coming in. Somebody waited too long. Somebody waited too long. Somebody feels like you took too long, they waited too long, or they felt like you weren't reciprocating, and so they walked away. And this is strongly love, because my heart hurts. So let me just say this, okay? This is the other person that you're dealing with, okay? This is somebody that, never mind the name of this card. Whenever I see somebody like this, or whenever this card comes out, I look at it as somebody who's like, their heart has been open. It's like their heart chakra has been activated, okay? This is a person that has been, that takes many, many risks in life, okay? They've been hurt many, many times. I mean, he's lost an eye. His hair is all disheveled. He's got that tree in the pit of his stomach, which means it's somebody who's a very old soul. They've been reincarnated many, many times. They've learned many, many lessons. They're a very old soul. And I also feel like, they're very much guided by their intuition, and they're not afraid to take risks. You, on the other hand, are very, very risk averse. And I feel like some of you might stay in a situation that is past its expiration date, because you hang on, you try to fix things. And I feel like there's definitely a situation here where you're staying in it, possibly a love relationship, and you're not feeling that excitement anymore. You're not feeling like it's gonna, last your entire lifetime. It feels a little bit dry. It feels a little bit uninspiring. It feels like you're not talking to the other person anymore. And it just feels to me like the passion and the chemistry might be gone out of that relationship. You're definitely torn between this here. Do I move ahead and make seek more opportunities, restart my dating life, going out into the world, breaking free from this, going out into the world and find the one I truly love? Or do I stay in this situation that is subpar but bearable because it's the safer choice, because of duties, because of obligation, because that is what is expected of me. And if I stray from it, people might oppose my choice. So I feel like you're definitely in a relationship here where there's a lot of expectations, and it could even be family, social, whatever expectations. And it's something that you want to walk away from because you feel like your heart wants something else, but you're not at a point where you can, you're not at a point where you're ready just yet. I also feel like, on the other hand, this is also for many of you changing jobs. Okay. Many of you might be in a public sector, or especially in a work environment that is very institutionalized and that is very safe. So this is what I would call like education, like in an institution of education, college, university, high school, whatever. And then I also feel like it's very safe. There's pension, there's retirement, there's union even. And then I feel like that you're contemplating, Should I try something else? Should I try something a little bit entrepreneurial? Should I try something a little bit more creative? The King of Cups, the cup energy rules creativity. It rules our heart. It rules our passion. It rules the things that are not as safe, but it has a really strong, undeniable pull. And it's pulling us in that direction. And I feel like many of you might be ending something in order to start something brand new that might not be as safe. But I feel like it pulls and tugs so much at your heartstring that it's undeniable. For others of you, I feel like, you're going against tradition. You're definitely like flipping over. I'm seeing like, that expression, like so-and-so would turn over in their grave. It's because you're defying years and years and decades, or even like, generations of expectations. You're going after what your heart wants. And I feel like in the process, people might not understand. People might be like this, naysayers, or people telling you, what are you doing? Why are you trying to stand out? Why are you trying to go against tradition? Why are you trying to be an oddball? This is not like you. Are you having a midlife crisis? Or why are you doing this? They're not going to understand. But I feel like for you guys, Taurus, you guys are so, so, so patient. And, you work at things and you hang on and you don't swim upstream, right? That's not what Taurus people do. But when enough's enough. Ten of Swords. The end of the line. When something is like past its expiration date. Well, when something can't be fixed. What your heart is really yearning after. And people can talk, people can, defy, people can tell you that's a bad idea, don't go for it. But I feel like at this point in your life, you're just like, I've worked at it. Don't tell me I haven't tried. Don't tell me I haven't given it my all. Don't tell me I've exhausted all possibility. Don't tell me that I didn't do enough. Because I feel like there's a situation here. You're like, it's not going to get fixed. It's not going to work. Okay. And so you're ready for something new. What I'm feeling here for many of you, I feel like you're reliving a situation in the past, or you might be thinking about something that happened in the past. And let me just see how recent this is, okay? What I have here is the Queen of Wands, and this is sort of like being nourished, okay? So this is like the fairy godmother card, okay? Whatever nourishes you, whatever makes you thrive, whatever allows you to grow, it's never going to be a bad thing. So as pragmatic as you are, if you are confronted with a decision, right? The head or heart choice. Do we go with what stirs our passion, or do we make that rational choice? I feel like this is a card that comes in to tell you that there isn't really a right or a wrong choice. It's just every choice that we make provides us with a new experience that will allow us to grow. So I feel like you give yourself a lot of anxiety and a lot of unnecessary stress by looking down the path of each individual choice that you have to make, when in fact you should approach it like it's a new choice. It creates a new path. And each path that I take will provide me with a different experience that will allow me to grow. I might grow at a different rate, or I might grow, into a different person. But it really doesn't detract me from who I am. It's just an additional growth experience. So looking at things, looking at life in that lens, I feel is going to allow you to free yourself. It's almost like the justification that you need in order for you to move away from something that you're not happy with, to be in something that brings you a lot more joy. And at the same time, it's justification that you need in order for you to not dilly-dally with a decision, not waste any more time, and kind of like, seize the day, live life to the fullest. So I'm seeing here that you've been the responsible one, the wise one, the one that hangs on and fixes things. and you're at a point where you don't want to fix it anymore. And that's okay, Taurus. So, solar return, once again, take stock of where we've been. Are we happy here? If not, what can we do? Where do we go from here? You have a lot of good things coming into the future for you. You definitely have somebody in your midst that's like, love is very under the surface. There's definitely somebody there. And I feel like a lot of the times you might try to block out this person, but their memory keeps coming back. You might have already met this person in like the September timeframe last year.